Well, the time has finally come, guys. We are going to demo this R500, and I'm going to let you know what I think of this $60 spray gun. Can this cheap spray gun put a beautiful finish on this Subaru, the same finish that a $900 spray gun does in my shop? What we have today in this job is a Subaru Crosstrek. It's already been based. And guys, well, the true test doesn't really happen with base or pearl. I feel like any spray gun can spray base or pearl, but how well does it atomize that clear? And that's what we're gonna find out here. So we've already based this brand new fender, blend it into the door, we blend it into the hood, and since I'm putting a new bumper on here, I'm doing this on the house, I'm spraying this fender. Why not blend it, make everything look good for the customer? It's not worth the time to not blend it. I think most of you guys are on the same page. Now, one of the main reasons why everyone loves this spray gun is because it is a low volume, low pressure spray gun. And that is not a popular spray gun in the body shop because most body shops have big, huge compressors and they don't need that extra low pressure, low volume. And what this spray gun does not require is a lot of air. So you guys in your little shops or in your garages that might have a 20-gallon compressor and you want to paint a couple panels, this is going to be the spray gun that you are going to need to get the job done, because it's not going to make your compressor keep on running and running. See, what happens is when your compressor keeps running and running, it's not going to have enough air pressure. That dial is going to drop down, and when that dial drops down, it's going to spray the clear or whatever you're spraying very low, and you can get a lot of runs. And it's not going to atomize the paint just the way you want. Plus the fact when a compressor is running and running, it's creating moisture in the air lines, and if you don't have a good filtration system, that moisture is just going to find its way into your spray gun body and out into the panel and ruin your paint job. So when looking for a LVLP, low volume, low pressure spray gun, this is what everyone is recommending for the guys in the garage. And for 60 bucks, I think we should give it a shot and see how it performs here. If it does good here, then we'll bring it into the garage at home and see how it really works. Ready to spray. A few things you should note. First off, air valve, always all the way out, okay? Should be all the way out. Some might come halfway like this one did. I don't know even why this will come on a gun. I guess if you want to control pressure here, but we use a regulator, okay? Secondly, I like to keep this fan all the way out. We can make adjustments if we need. And thirdly, we want our fluid at wide open. So if you haven't adjusted it and you have fluid all in here, obviously you're gonna have to turn the spray gun upside down so the fluid doesn't come out, okay? You're gonna back this out almost all the way to the point where it's almost out. You're gonna pull that trigger and you're gonna turn this in until it stops, and you'll feel a little resistance here. Start to push on the trigger. That is now at wide open, and then from there you can do a half turn in or a full turn, whatever you might be. But I like to keep it at wide open and I'll adjust accordingly. Pressure, look at, I can't even read my pressure. I don't look at numbers. I only look at the number to tell you. It's probably gonna be around 25, 26, in and around there. Right off the bat, I can feel that this spray gun is very unbalanced. It cannot hold the weight of all this clear in here. It's wanting to go down, and that's gonna make it a little bit more difficult to spray. Some of the other guns have a better center of gravity, I would say, and they just make it a little bit easier to hold. So right off the bat, I'm already coming down like this. Well, it's a $60 gun, so you're not gonna have a perfect spray gun, but let's see what the finish looks like. All right, so we're gonna start with our fender here, and then we'll work over the whole entire panel. Like any other spray video, I'll give you some tips and tricks along the way to help you out. All right, let's see what this little guy can do. I'll start off here. I'm not gonna go too wet, and I'll stop just a little bit before because I don't wanna build up this edge. Oh boy. It's got the cheap gun spray pattern, very narrow. Alright, not too bad. A little bit heavy and a little bit unbalanced. Not so much heavy, just unbalanced makes it seem heavy. Okay, first coat down real quick. We'll start on the hood here. Keeping it around 80% overlap. Light is hard to see what you're doing, so I choose to go fast and close. You can either go fast and close or further and slower.
Oh boy, I'm really liking the way this looks. You know, I always get nervous if a cheap spray gun when I'm doing a job like this, but I can't learn and give an honest review unless I really put it to the test. So spraying a bumper or one panel really doesn't put it to the test. I got a lot of my favorites tonight though. 70 degrees, really nice here in the booth. The paint's just flowing on.
Now for this guy, I'm gonna take it into the door halfway, and then I'll finish the door. I can't do the whole thing at once. I just don't like doing it like that.
You can do it however you want. You can do it if that works for you, doing the whole side, please do it. But don't do whatever I tell you to do if there's something that works better for you. Okay? And then let's knock down the rest of this. First coat, I don't go crazy. You can recover from a run in the second coat, but not really the first coat. So just get it on and don't really mind it if it looks bad, because you can finish it up. I can't stand Subaru bumpers. I mean, why they gotta make the molding a part of the bumper? How do they do it at the factory is what I want to know. Do they have a guy that just does it? Oh. He must get paid a lot. Every time I see a Subaru, I want to give it to the other guy. I don't want nothing to do with it, just because of the bumpers. I don't mind the car, actually, to be honest. They're basic cars, they're nice cars. They're roomy, but I just cannot stand their bumpers.
Wow. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed, guys. I didn't want to be impressed, but I'm impressed. And I don't got that much talent. I'm impressed. I was not a fan of the fan. I don't like narrow fans, but it put the material on. I just want to see what the internet hype was all about for this spray gun. Mind you, there might be a little dry area here and there. I don't get concerned with that. You guys know if you watch my videos, don't get concerned on the first coat. But dang, there's no dirt in this panel. These are my favorite jobs. Unmask them, put them together. We polish all our work, and I hate polishing. But I hate Subaru bumpers more. I don't know, what do you guys hate? Polishing? Taping? I don't know. Fine line, two-toning? Not my thing. Where do we go from here? Let's give it 10 minutes to flash off. Once this is all flashed off in 10 minutes, we'll hit up the second coat a little bit heavier. Hopefully we don't run it. We'll see what the potential is of this spray gun when we're really applying the paint. It's funny because when I was a do-it-yourselfer, there wasn't this many gun options, but I wouldn't want to spend a lot of money. But then what ended up happening is I thought that buying an expensive gun would make me a better painter, and I could not tell you how far from the truth that actually is. The problems will still persist. I mean, if I could tell my young self now, don't spend the money on expensive guns if you know you don't really plan to get into this. I mean, I did, but some of you guys just want to paint your car once or just do a project, and some of you actually, you know, buy the cheaper guns and you want to do better because you want to get into this trade, because painting, honestly, is one of the coolest crafts, I feel. That's why I'm in it. That's why I work 2 jobs every day, plus YouTube. I come here every day after school with the kids at the elementary school doing my day job, and I come here at night because I love to paint. And that's how it got me into this, you know. Basically, a cheap spray gun was all I had, and then I got into the expensive ones, and now coming back down to earth, I'm like, you know what? Let's think about where Brian was early in his career, and where Brian was early in his career was still learning. And I learned a lot, still learning every day, but now I can pass this knowledge on to you as your teacher. So if you guys appreciate the knowledge, you want to support the channel, check out the paint suits. You can get your own over on the Amazon link in the description. Of course, everything that you see in this video plus more is in the description. including this spray gun. But if you're gonna get it quick, because Amazon's got this weird thing that when they see that something's getting sold, they'll raise the price. I don't believe in that. It's a $60 spray gun. That's what it is. It sprays well. The longevity, from what I hear, might not be the best. So make sure when you clean it, don't leave it in thinners, because I hear the seals kind of get beat up. So right now, it's working. And we got that second coat to lay down. It's been 15 minutes actually. Let's lay it down.
All right, now we're going to take everything to the edge. We're going to go a little bit slower and watch our paint go on. But we're going to make sure that we don't have too many overlaps so we don't get any runs. You got to be careful of these body lines, because what happens is the paint just likes to run off of them on a nice cool night. And I've had that happen many times. So if you think it's dry, give it a little bit of a spray, but don't overdo it because it will start to run off. That looks impressive. Lay this down right here. My main concern with cheap spray guns is how well it'll lay down the clear on a hood, because that is the true test. How well does it spray flat panels, right? Can it atomize it? Because you don't have time to go back and slot in some clear. You got to get everything from the first shot looking good. And I don't know what we got here going on, to be honest. All right, nice little reach over. And we're continuing to pick up our edge here. Around 80% to 85% overlap. Don't take a ruler out and measure, guys. Just do what's best for you. I tell you that all the time. Once again, this is a beautiful finish. The gun's a little bit unbalanced, but you do get the hang of it as you move. We'll pick things up off the edge of the hood, and we're going to keep on moving into that fender and that door. Make sure that all of our passes go past the door gaps, the hood gaps, the fender gaps. You never want to stop on a gap. That is not a good thing. See, I'm just keeping it moving. Now, I will say on these side panels, I do prefer to do the further away and slower method, because gravity is not working with you right now. It's working against you. On the hood, it's working with you. Here, it's just trying to make you look bad. And then we'll pick back up, finish the door off, and we'll take a look at the full job and see if she looks as good as my $900 spray gun. Keep in mind that these are blend panels, so any damage you might see in the blend panels that is not in the blend area is not fixed. And if you're a painter in an auto body shop, you get it. So thank you. That's it. That's it on the car. Looks really good.
Well, I didn't want to believe the hype at first, but I mean, let's go take a look, guys. I finished up 2 coats on everything, and here is what I'm going to tell you. This looks beautiful, but if you're spraying crap paint, you're not going to get good results. I almost feel like the paint is the more important object here rather than a spray gun, because if you're spraying cheap paint, it's not going to come out well. It's not going to look good. It's not going to level off. This looks completely stunning. I mean, look at the finish on this. This is going to come out of the booth, it's going to get assembled, and it's going to go home. And it's not going to have any sanding done. We're not going to have to worry about taking any layers off the paint. That's the way we want them to come out. From top to bottom, this thing is like one wet run. It looks beautiful, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. But is this a gun I would recommend for you? Well, I will tell you guys that when buying a spray gun and you're new to painting, do not spend a lot of money at first. You don't want to get those big expensive spray guns. Those big expensive spray guns, guys, sometimes what can happen is, well, if you don't know how to use them properly and you don't clean them out well, they will eventually not spray the same way that they sprayed when you first used them. So get your feet wet with a cheaper spray gun, and I would also suggest the LVLP, obviously because most of you guys in the garage just want to run to the store, get a 20 or 30 gallon compressor, and be done with it. But in this case, you have a spray gun that can handle it, and that is my advice when coming to get into this trade and spraying things in your garage or maybe in a small shop. Here, I don't have any worries for any of the color match. I know everything is gonna look great because we have blended everything at every single angle. So for 60 bucks, yeah, I would definitely buy this gun. If you have this gun marked at $300, I would say there's probably better options on the market, more so because of the longevity from what I've heard. You might end up having to buy this 2 or 3 times just because the seals and the cheaply made internals of the spray gun will eventually break down. Something on a more expensive spray gun that you won't have to deal with. So keep that in mind. But for 60 bucks, well, that's pretty much a dinner nowadays. If you have anything to lose, you'll have a spray gun that you can use on your own home projects and won't eat the air up. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and leave a link in the description if you guys wanna go ahead and pick it up, as well as that paint suit from earlier. That's the one way to show your support to the channel. Until then, guys, this is Brian from Paint Society reminding you, don't overthink it. It's just paint. I see you guys on the next episode.
Out here on the street, I'm losing my way. You've gotten to me, and that's my mistake. Some might say I can't get too far without seeing your face. Oh, you gave me your heart and took it away. I'm going underground. Say your loving comes around, going underground.